it's going. All right, so I'm going to ask Roger if you'll just advance me to the slides. I'll just sort of nod.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to talk a little bit about our branch from the inside. Is it all right if I walk around? I'm a pacer. We found that organization truly matters. We had, as has already been alluded to by you, Roger, too few people were doing too many things. And the board seemed ready, our board at the time seemed ready for something different. And we didn't have enough involvement, another thing you've mentioned. And we wanted to be more involved. We wanted to get people that we saw all the time to contribute something. But how? And we would ask for volunteers. Now, since then, we've learned not to use the B word. Help is a much more congenial word. Can you help? Can you do this little thing? That makes a lot of difference. So, but we were at the time requesting for people to volunteer. We need volunteers to do the newsletter. Well, that sounds like a kind of a big thing. So, but we had a couple of differences. We had a board that seemed a little bit interested in change, and we had a leader, you, Jerry, that really wanted change. And how? So let's go to the next slide. So we began looking at our website, and we were in WordPress, and it was a mess, WordPress. We just had an accumulation of stuff from many years past. It was old and tired looking, and we decided, well, we started out in WordPress, but we just needed something different, we found. It was a little hard to learn for some of us, and so we looked for something easier, and we found something called Squarespace. Some of you may know about it, if you're a caveman, probably even you can do it. I am that caveman, so it fit right in. We thought we could use Squarespace to implement just the basics. And when I stepped back and looked at what we were doing in Squarespace, we weren't doing anything really technologically adventurous. We had pages, people read the pages, or more likely they didn't read the website at all, because the access to our website was really low. It had a very old looking and tired look and feel. Squarespace was a more modern tool. It had much more energy to it, a lot of energy in the website. And Roger, I hope that's what our new website will have for the state. So we thought we could use Squarespace to just do the basics, just create interesting pages that people would maybe want to read and want to explore. And we thought maybe we could use it to add, because it has a lot of add-ons, tools that you can add to it. We thought maybe we could do some other interesting things with that. And I know, Megan, you're going to talk about some of that later on in the website group. Now, within a month, we had a new website up to show with another colleague of mine, Margaret and Jerry. And three of us were kind of looking at it. We were getting excited because I had put something up. And we started showing it to the board, and they received it with great interest. Next slide, please. Oh, can I have my glass of water there? Thank you. So we knew we had a tool that we could create a very simple and also elegant website. It forced us into developing something simple, which was a net good for us, because simple is better in a lot of ways, because you can recruit people to do simple things rather than complex things. We had it had also a couple of really important capabilities. One is a built-in newsletter feature and a mailing list functionality. Those were very, very helpful. So we could now not only do the website, but we could also reach out to people using that website tool, Squarespace, and we could use it to communicate with them. So we basically were getting an all-in-one function from it. It also had a built-in payment function. So we could use the same tool to charge for meetings, to charge for our Fault Zone books, which are our anthologies, to charge for workshops that we were holding. Basically anything we wanted to charge for, we could do it that way. I believe last year we processed maybe 2 checks, written checks, through the whole year for our meetings, for our membership, everything. And significantly, this is the big thing, I thought I could teach others to maintain pages in Squarespace. I did not think I could do that using WordPress. That WordPress took a little bit more technology, and it was a little bit more intimidating. Squarespace was something I thought I could teach anyone to do. So let's go to the next page. So we released it in the summer of 2022, our new website. It was greeted with great enthusiasm. It had a cleaner, more modern look. We paid careful attention to SEO, which is search engine optimization. Those are the little hashtag things that you see, the little number sign and words. Think of it that way. This really helped make our website more discoverable. New members found us, they came to our meetings and joined. Our membership increased. Next slide. I'm going to demo the website, and I'll do it now.
Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Let's hope I have a connection. There it is. Let me just drag this down a little. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try to
You want to sit here?
make my 82-year-old body.
Here, you want to sit here, sir?
No, this is good. This
Are
is
you
good.
sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oops,
So-
Went away.
It's good. Make
All
it a
right.
full field at the top, you know.
What's that?
You can make the full screen. Well, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a nice picture here, kind of encapsulates our location. The spirit of our location is beautiful. You can sign up for our news blast. I'll call that out. That's our newsletter, but we call it a news blast. I'll explain why. And then we have a beautiful video here that one of our members made.
I'm Tom Adams, special project person to do this video. I think the club is attracting a lot of new people.
This particular branch of the California Writers Club was only the 3rd branch, and it came in 1965 in this very room that we meet in every single month.
You know, writers, they're, in a way, they're a different breed. They're a little like mountain climbers. They're just kind of made of something else, and I wanted to hang out with writers.
You know, so if you're into flowers, you join the flower club. If you love writing, you join the Writers Club.
So that gives you an idea. It's about, what is it, 2.5 minutes long or something, right?
4.5.
4.5? Well, how long-winded? So here we have a whole menu. I want to tell you now, this is very important. We have a helper, not a volunteer, we have a helper who adds all of this. One person. This tells us, you know, like what's our upcoming meeting?
Events.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Aha.
I just lost it.
Press space to apply it.
Hit the backspace. Up at the top.
Up at the top,
Top left, backspace. No, in the screen.
on the screen.
With your cursor here, yeah.
Can you show me?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't think it's gonna do it, but
We interrupt this broadcast.
For the reality.
Okay, so let me just connect to my, if I connect to my phone. Roger, you can edit this out, right?
yes, I can.
Very good.
Okay, so we're getting really slow. We have a picture here that's really slow here. There, well, you get the idea. We have lots of pictures in this, but we have a book fair, we have Writers Helping Writers. These are all different things that we do, events that we have. You can find out all about us, including our board members, what they do. You can find out about how to be a member, so there's an application form. Just with the slowness of the website, I'm not going to demonstrate too much here. We have a pretty straightforward form. This is about our anthology called Fault Zone. We have a news stand, and this is where we provide information about our members, and so on. We have writing critique groups. This is one. We have 18 now writing critique groups. We have a marvelous person, Mira Rao, who helps members, new members. Most of them, it's the most frequently mentioned reason for joining our club is people want to relate to other writers, find out what they're doing, get advice, get critique, and so on. And so we have a person, so these are our groups. Here's one that's interesting. C.S. Lewis meets Silicon Valley storytellers. And you can read about it, right? And say, okay, maybe that's a good one. And we also tell whether or not they're open or closed. So, for example, this one is open. Great, maybe I'll apply to that one. Well, I can't apply. No one can come into my writing group right now with David. We're full, right, David? We've got four of us. So you get an idea. And you can also either join a group that's open or form your own group. And here we ask a little bit about you. If you want to form, there we go. And you talk about what it is you want it to be about, where you might meet, what restrictions you might play, and so on. So that's a big deal. And then we have resources. We have literally hundreds of resources. Like, let's say you want to explore publishing. And, you know, there's Jane Friedman stuff. I mean, you've got the idea here. So I'm going to get out of this and go back into my, back into my presentation. you know, when you're using your computer in front of a lot of people, it gets harder.
That's so true. Something always.
Just stuff that I normally would just do without even thinking.
There you are.
All right.
No, I can do it. Thanks.
So we went live then. Following that, in 2023, we went live with something we called a news blast. We named it that consciously because we did not like our newsletter. We had trouble replacing the person that was writing it because it was a big deal. It took a lot of work, and it was in constant contact. We didn't need constant contact, so we were saving money. I think that was at the time $30 a month or something like that. And we wanted to emphasize lightness and brevity. We had longer newsletters, and we were replacing it with shorter, more relevant content with lots of links, everything linked back to the website. The website presented us as a younger, modern, more relevant place for emerging writers, as well as writers in their going about in their professions, doing writing part-time, whatever it was. We wanted to drive people to the website because they might use the resources page, or they might see, oh, we support writing critique groups. I'm looking for that. So the news blast was short, sweet, and lots of pictures and lots of links. You wanted news. Look at what our members are doing in terms of news. Well, Tim's writing a book. Jerry's writing a book. Oh, it didn't say anything about it, but there's news about Jerry. There's news about Tim. You click the news, it takes you to the website. The website is where you actually read about Jerry and Tim. So we had lots of pictures, as many of you have done. I've noticed your newsletters, but ours was a lot shorter than I think most of yours are. Squarespace limits forced us to do that also, because Squarespace newsletters, if you do a newsletter in Squarespace, it must be shorter, because it will say all of a sudden you've come up against a limit. You can't do that much. Actually, the limit was a good thing. Okay, let's go to the next page. So we also changed a lot of the way that I think we as a branch began to relate to the people attending our meetings and the way we interacted with each other. We did a lot more personal contacts. So even starting with our membership application, when somebody applied for membership, we would say, well, we would reply personally to the person, I think this club might help you in the thing that you're looking for, because we asked them what they're looking for in the application. So we did a tailored response with every single application. We hold quarterly new membership orientation sessions on Zoom. We have our writing critique group matchmaker, Mira, we call her a matchmaker, and she's facilitating joining the critique groups. Next slide, please. So, we were advocating not just technology, but a more personal style. So, we made it a commitment as board members that we would start interacting during breaks in our meetings we would begin to interact with members. I met 2 new members at our last meeting. 2 guests, actually, they were guests. And that really draws people in, that personal touch. No, I remember when my first meeting at the California Writers Club, nobody came up to me. Nobody talked to me. I had to do the workout. So as a board, we're committed to sort of going around and just talking to each other. And that's how we're not only getting new members, we're getting helpers. So we're very social also. We have great parties in the summer and at the holiday. Next slide, please. So, did it help? Yep, let's go on. Here's our membership record from 2021. We grew from 128 last year at the, last year at the end of membership, let's see, at these, just before membership was closed, we had 202 members. So we don't know what it's going to be like this coming year, next class. But you can see there it was also corresponding to the events of our release of our website and our change in our news blast. Okay, let's go. So now we've found out that since we could get other people to use the tools, we could spread the word out if we could interest people in doing something. So we began to ask for helpers. And we authorized and trained members now who are posting all the events under our events menu. Our critique groups menu is all taken care of. We have the detailed news about members are taken care of by somebody who does the newsstand menu. And we have the resources menu, all taken care of by different people. We have one website manager, Megan, but she doesn't have to do everything herself. She just has to get them started, show them a little bit of the ropes. What's that, an hour or so?
Yeah.
And they're off and running. Next slide, please. So, people are willing to do small things. If you give them big things, you're gonna, like maybe being a president, right? That takes a little bit more persuasion over time. But to get people to do something like take care of the events on our event menu, and we'll give you the pictures to use, we'll give you what to put in. All you have to do is copy the description of the presentation and put the picture in the right place on the website, and you're done. That's your part. So we're really spreading the load around. We have people not only writing the news blast, but putting more, writing info on writers helping writers. Those are sessions that we have at different libraries. We have people taking photos. That's another little thing that's easy to ask somebody to do. Can you snap photos of our meetings? Sure. Contributing, editing, formatting, our fault zone anthology, and a lot more. Next slide, please. How did we get here, and where did we start from? You kind of get an idea, but how did we get there? Let's go to the next slide. First of all, we decided that it's pretty easy to sabotage yourself in the way you think about things. So what we decided to do is yeah, you can stop all the negative talk. It's too big an effort. I don't know how to do this stuff. People won't like it if we do that. We quieted the noise that was within our heads, the noise that maybe we would say to each other, the limitations we impose on things, and decided there's 1,000 ways of saying no. There's an old saying, there's 1,000 ways of saying no and only one way of saying yes. And so we plowed forward. Next slide, please.
That's good.
Next slide. We created will to change. And what I'm talking about is intention. So what Roger mentioned at the beginning is a great setup. Today is your opportunity to intend change, to begin to intend something different in your branch. So intention is an amazing power, not only personally, but in an organization. What we intend to create is generally evidence from our results. If I want family conflict, I probably had something to do with creating it. It's not their fault. I took part in it. So this is what I'm talking about. If we want change, we have to intend it and we have to do something personal about it. So if the results aren't what we hoped for or expected, it's a good idea to look inward at our intention. And for us, it would be as board members. What are we doing when we meet as a board? Are we doing the same old thing? If it's working, great, keep doing it. But if it's not working, how can we intend something different? So today, maybe during your breakout session, you can ask some of these questions as you listen and interact with people. Next slide, please. So, in review, this began with 3 of us wanting something different and saying, okay, we're gonna look at our website, we're gonna look at some things, and we're gonna report to the board on what we're finding and how we're doing it. Jerry, Margaret, and me. So Jerry was our president. She got behind it. Thank you, Jerry. Supported us, freed us, didn't look over our shoulders, didn't say, okay, I need to join every session while you're doing it. She just let Margaret and I play in the sandbox. So Margaret and I worked basically as a team, discussed everything, implemented it, showed it to Jerry, then we showed it to the board, and everyone got excited, wanted to contribute. So again, it doesn't have to be a big organizational effort. It can be something that you just let people play in the sandbox. Next slide, please. So within the context of your group, I'm hoping that this presentation would cause you to ask in your own way, is our branch attracting the members that we really want? Roger talked about thousands of riders in our communities. If not, what's the nature of the change that might be required in your branch? And how do you get there from where you are? And what can you do to make it happen? Next. Oh, shameless advertising. Thank you very much.